You have to build your own capability.
Right.
And that's the capability of a space which ISRO had. Now we have a state of the art tsunami warning system with the support of three countries that I mentioned, a vast Indo Pacific. You can imagine the length and breadth of this region. So,
Yes.
any tsunami that happens, you are in a position to forewarn your people. 2004 will never be repeated again. And this all happened, space technology is one of the key component, key enabler for putting in place what we call IOTWS, Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System. So we have got the tsunami warning system. So space is behind all warning system, all impact assessment, all kind of risk assessment. So that's the beauty of the space technology.
Right. Hello everyone, I am Jitendra Singh, banker turned entrepreneur and author of the book Pep Hack Mastering the Art of Selling. I welcome you to read my story where I interview authors, speakers, coaches, celebrities, entrepreneurs and more. Today I have with me Dr. Sanjay Srivastava. He has done PhD in applied physics and he is presently working as Chief of Disaster Risk Reduction at UN Economics and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, which is also known as ESCAP. He was the head of SART Disaster Management Center, New Delhi, from 2007 to 2008, Deputy Project Director of Disaster Management Support Program at India Space Research Organization. He has worked as scientist engineer at ISRO headquarters Bangalore since 1991. He is the recipient of ISRO Team's Excellence Award 2008-2009 for his contribution towards harnessing space technology application. He has been the lead author of the ESCAPE flagship publication Asia Pacific Disaster Report since its inception in 2010 and WMO's State Climate Publication 2021 for Asia and Southwest Pacific. So today he will be discussing with us about his life journey. So let us hear from him. Welcome Sanjay sir, the platform is open and now over to you.
Thank you, Jitendraji. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It's truly a privilege to talk to you about my journey, where it started and where I am today now. So let me share with you that I came from a very humble family background, from a father is a school teacher in a remotest corner of our country in Bihar, struggled, faced all kind of hardship. But what that contributed to me, my past hardship and struggle, is it brought in simplicity in my behavior. I'm very humble, very simple. Also, it contributed to me to be very focused for your purpose, what you want to achieve. It led to me somebody who is like very determined to achieve our goal despite all adversities. And when you are meeting me today, I'm chief of a UN program in Asia and the Pacific. So from a very humble background, I should say a Hindi medium school all through, then to here in the UN office of Bangkok. This is all a journey I traveled since 1975 when I completed my schooling and then moved forward for academics to the professional journey of Indian Space Research Organization to United Nations system today. So Jitanji, this is all about me.
There are so many things we would be talking about you, your journey, and I'm really looking forward to it. But before that, guys, I'll request all of you to like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. And also, there would be certain things which you would like in the interview. Please highlight them. And if you need any information further, we would love to share more. So, sir, let's start with your journey. Like, if I talk about your past life, how it has affected the person you wanted to be in your life and what you are.
Yeah, thank you, Jitandraji. My past journey, as I mentioned, with all hardship, but what is the real learning of my past journey from the childhood was learn to live with difficult times. You may not have everything what you feel comfortable with. Things are not as per your wish. things are the way it is, but you have to change the things around you. So the past which I traveled was, I must live with a lot of struggle. I used to travel 10 kilometers every day on foot in all summer, winter, everything for my schooling, and then from there to college life. So this is where we started. Many like me in India are there. India is full of the people with this kind of background. But what made me really is like some, I should call this a gifted from the past, is never deter away from the struggle, from the hardship. Focus on what you want to achieve, and that's a strength in itself.
Right, sir. And like you've been from a small village, small town, and you've been traveling for your education for 10
Right.
kilometers. That was really a huge effort, huge struggle on your part. So
Right.
hats off to that. So if I talk about your journey now, like what you are doing now on the basis of that, so what are the things you are passionate about in your life? How you spend your time throughout activities and passion around?
Yeah. Thank you, Jitanji. I frankly share with you that what I really enjoy the most in my life is the work, the quality of my work. Whatever I do as a student, so used to love study, used to work very hard. One concept, unless I understand fully, I will not move forward. So the important part was enjoying or loving what you do. In a childhood, used to love my school, used to love the curriculum of teaching. When I came to college, I was a studious student. I never felt that studying 10 hours or 15 hours never tired me. It's more, I study more, I used to enjoy. So I derive enjoyment from my work as a student life, from the study. When I came to ISRO, whatever was assigned to me, I was always very innovative, and I got all my promotion on a fast track merit promotion basis, simply because I used to add a lot of value to the work, and it's all because of my a very focused approach. You should make a difference, the work given to you, and that will take you to the next step. So when I came to the UN system, you see, in a village, in atmosphere, the passion was do well. In ISRO, when I came, the passion was to do a quality work where your organization will feel proud. Whenever there is a launch of a satellite, you develop such an innovative application which impacts almost all the country. From ISRO, when I moved to UN system, the idea was the world with a changing climate, with extreme disaster event, is becoming very difficult place to live with. So what to do to make world livable? Use technology, use innovations, and those were my passion with changing time, and that keeps me always very happy, satisfied.
Right. So consistently, we can say technology is the thing which you always work on,
Yes.
which drives your passion through.
Right. Because Jitanji, the difference that you can make, technology is one of the most important part of making a difference. I
Right.
have seen in my journey, the same disasters in India used to kill tens of thousands of people for the tropical cyclone. Today,
Right.
it's in single digit, and this all difference is because of the technology, policies of the government, the people understanding to live with how to manage a cyclone, how to prepare for the disaster. So I have seen that journey quite a bit as a ISRO scientist dealing with disaster risk management in the country.
Right. So, sir, if I talk about your work and experiences, like how you started your career, what all you did. So, in a nutshell, I just want to know about your work and experiences, how it looked like.
Yeah, actually, Saji, Asia Pacific region is world's most disaster prone region.
Right.
Let us say in Asia Pacific, it's more than 15 times more at risk than a person in Europe and North America, 4 times more at risk than a person in Africa. So in a region like Asia Pacific, the risk is huge. You must manage risk to live and progress and prosper. So our analysis indicate many times that this is Asia Pacific is the growth engine of the world, it's the fastest growing region of the world.
Right.
At the same time, we are also losing quite a bit because of the disasters. So more we are growing, the more we are also losing because of disasters. So we have to build resilience. Resilience means the risks should not outpace resilience. It should be other way around. So
Right.
that's my work. What to do that disaster impact should not derail the development, should not kill a large number of people by tropical cyclone or the earthquake.
Right.
You name all the deadliest disasters. So that's my work.
Really an interesting one, because we see so many cyclones, we see so many problems arising in the coastal areas of these Asia Pacific region. Japan, we have seen so many floods and disasters. So, sir, moving on to the next one, if I talk about your vision, mission, and goal in life for next 5 to 10 years from now, what are the areas you are working on?
Right. Actually, I have another couple of years to stay in UN system. So we wanted to disaster management in the region most vibrant. If I cite one example, which was last month, 14th of May, there was a cyclone Mocha. It hit Myanmar, and that was the region world's most vulnerable population live. It's a region of largely displaced population, the Rohingyas nearby in Bangladesh, and very poor community in Myanmar. So the houses they live in, they cannot withstand even 50 kilometer per hour wind speed, and the cyclone that was going to hit to millions of the people were more than 180 or 150 kilometer per hour speed. But the quality of early warning system, it was known 48 hours before that cyclone is going to hit this place with a pinpointed accuracy. Millions, lakhs and lakhs of people were evacuated both from Myanmar side and Bangladesh side. These are the countries which are not very strong, but quality of early warning system, knowing a risk of cyclone 48 hours before, helped the government to evacuate the people. So when cyclone hit, there were very few people who were exposed to the cyclone. As a result, the number of casualties brought down to the single digit. So even if you are most vulnerable, when you are hit by a massive cyclone, if you are supported by a technology of early warning system, and then government, the evacuation agencies worked on that information, all extreme event with a technology, with the proactive policy, you can manage, you can protect your people. And that is what exactly our work is. With the changing climate, we are going to see a world of different kind, with extreme event increasing many-fold. But at the same time, we have power of the technology, we have a very strong and responsive government who is very conscious of the climate change impact. So putting all this together, we have to live with the warming planet. And in warming planet, you have to live with the technology, with the science, with the public policy, which has to be science driven. So all put together gives us a hope that even if our temperature goes up, we have the means and determination to live in the warmer planet.
So these systems and technology really help us to understand what problem or what disaster may arise in.
Yeah.
And we have lesser time, but still it is sufficient to evacuate the area.
Right. True. So when cyclone hit, there is nobody on ground. So, earlier our experiences was the quality of early warning system was if there is a place which were warned earlier, but the cyclone is hitting somewhere else. So that is the time you see large number of casualty. But now the technology brought it narrowed down with
more
a
precision is there.
Much more precise. Yeah.
So, sir, from your personal and professional experiences so far, if I ask you what are the most important life lessons you have learned from both of your journeys?
As far as my life lesson is concerned, is life is something extremely valuable. I'm sharing a very frank opinion with my young colleagues of my country. Is extremely valuable gift of God. Let's make use of it in a very productive way. We have a role to play, whether in our society, wherever we live. If we are in a family, we have to lead family by something very creative, very constructive. You bring value to the family. If we are in an organization, you need to be very productive, somebody with whom organization can feel proud of. If you are outside country, you are representing both your country, your society, your people. So you have to be equally responsible. I have seen this in all my roles. When I was in my village, a small child, I was the eldest in the child, so I was leading always my younger brother, who is a civil servant now, by example. That see, Bhaiya is studying so well, he doesn't have any wrong habits, so it inspires him. When I was in ISRO, I was always with my team that do something very innovative. Let us make a space more useful to the people. So that's what I learned within coming from a village to a organization like Indian Space Research Organization. When I came to UN, it became like a Indian in UN, led by examples of doing great things, at the same time very simple, humble. I have never taken any alcohol in my life. I have never smoked. It's all came from my village background, living with simplicity, living with a purpose. Means we always say that living with a purpose means you don't have to worry about anything, but you are always driven by a purpose, some kind of passionate commitment that you have for yourself.
Right. So this is really important. Whether you are a part of family, then you have to lead by your example, so
Yes.
that your younger ones can follow you. And as part of the organization, also when you are a part of team or you are leading a team, there also you
Right.
should work in a way that you can be in like motivation or inspiration to other
Yes.
people, so that they
Right.
can also inspire others. They can also motivate others. That
Right.
environment can also help the people who are coming in to make them comfortable, and they can think in an innovative and creative way to find more solutions, more robust solutions to help the society or the organization on an overall perspective. Really
Yes.
thankful to you, sir. You have worked on those areas to help support and encourage people around you. It's been really wonderful.
Thank you, Junaid.
Sir, since you've been working on disaster management and study on this area, so I would like to know from you, like, what are the key challenges disaster risk reduction in Asia and the Pacific region?
Jitanji, just a few weeks back, there was a stock taking of what we call midterm review of the Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction. Sendai framework is a global framework. It happened at the same time of Sustainable Development Goal (SDG) framework. In 2015, the 187 countries of the world, they adapted this framework that world should be resilient. Our planet has to be resilient, and it cannot be resilient just by action of one or two countries. It has
Correct.
to be action all countries together. So we had a vision. I think it was a great vision for a resilient world in 2015 by 187 country. India was one of them. Now from 2015 till date, and the target was set up to by 2030, the world will reduce the mortality by 50%. You cannot reduce to the zero, but a relatively world has to be resilient. So 7 years from 2015, means halfway through, there was a stock taking meeting in New York at General Assembly. How much distance the world has traveled. Of course, there are some bright spots. At the same time, there are some key challenges. One of the key challenges, you saw the pandemic. World is still not prepared to face such a massive pandemic
Right.
like what we had experienced recently. But the biggest challenge was the world never imagined with the changing, warming planet, the complexity of disaster will become so huge. Means you see, in 2015, the idea of disaster risk was very different from what it is today. Today, when you see the way monsoon patterns are changing, the way heat waves, I think, Jitendra, you are in India. India is one of the country most exposed to the heat
Dependent
waves.
on
So the
monsoon. Yes.
Yes, the monsoon anomalies, heat waves. So this risk is becoming like a very dynamic phenomena. So our goal post continue to be changed. And what target that was set in 2015 was with a different context and background. Today
True.
is more challenging. So you need to multiply all your efforts. You have to be more innovative in technology to manage this risk. So as of now, our midterm review of Sendai, it clearly says we are nowhere near the goal post. We have a lot of things to do, but I will cite two examples of the countries. One is Japan. It's a Asia Pacific, one of the most disaster-prone country.
Yes.
At the same time, very capable country with all kind of technology in place. So Japan is managing disaster with all its technological might. So Japan is using technology. For example, it has a tsunami wall near the coast. Similarly, it has a big coastal protection measures for the typhoon. It has created the water management structure for flood protection, which I think would be amazing to see. So a country which has capability in terms of technology with the willpower that we are the country who are in the what we call the Pacific Ring of Fire, 90% of the earthquake happen in those regions. So Japan uses technology to manage disaster risk, but still it is not enough. The recent experiences says.
Right.
You have another country like Bangladesh. Bangladesh is equally vulnerable, knows that we don't have technology or institutional capacity of like Japan, but we have to live with disasters. So what Bangladesh did, they invested in people in coastal plain or people in floodplain area of Bangladesh. They were learned that we have to live with recurrent floods everywhere. So they created battalion, volunteers in every village, a huge Red Cross Society movement, the government supported by the government, early warning system, they made investment. Many countries supported, including India supported. There is a regional cooperation framework along the Bay of Bengal countries. So, the countries together, but they invested in people. You have to learn to live with the rest.
Right.
So you see one example, Japan. Invest in technology, invest in modernization, use technology to the best and manage the risk. Bangladesh, invest in people, human capital. Bring the awareness of your generation, your upcoming generation. You have to live with this. And that's how the Asia Pacific region managing risk.
Right, sir.
Two models I cited. Right.
Really interesting because Japan is having lots of resources to imply on.
Yes.
But Bangladesh, countries like Bangladesh, they are not good with the resources. So they openly can rely with people.
Right. True. Jitendraji, we need both. We need people to understand that you have to live with the risk on the warmer planet, and you have to use the best of the technology to protect people.
Right, sir. So onto this further, like what role can space technology play in disaster risk reduction?
Actually, I must share with you my own experience in ISRO. 2004, after Indian Ocean tsunami, it was a massive setback to many countries, including India. But the challenge was what to do that when there is a next tsunami, we are better prepared. This was one disaster which killed 250,000 people in 14 countries, including India.
Really huge number.
Yes. Yeah. But the biggest lesson was this number of people were killed because there was no early warning system for the tsunami in the Indian Ocean.
Right.
So the government all together, this is where the power of collective action makes so much difference. So here it was three governments who took the lead: Australia, India, and Indonesia. And you see the vast stretch of Indo-Pacific region. Southwest Pacific, Australia took care of this. Indonesia took Sumatra and some part of the interface of Indian Ocean and Pacific. India took whole Andaman Sea, Makran Basin. How they work together is as a ISRO. ISRO played a very important role to develop the tsunami warning system. New Ministry of Earth Sciences were created. INQUEST, the center which is a tsunami warning center established in Hyderabad. My boss, Mr. K. Radhakrishnan, who later became ISRO chairperson, he was sent there as a director of INQUEST. So ISRO technology of sensor technology, ISRO strength of satellite remote sensing, coastal journalism, many areas were put to action because those are the technology which many countries don't share with you. You have to build your own capability.
Right.
And that's the capability of a space which ISRO had. Now we have a state-of-the-art tsunami warning system with the support of 3 countries that I mentioned, a vast Indo-Pacific. You can imagine the length and breadth of this region. So
Yes.
any tsunami that happens, you are in a position to forewarn your people. 2004 will never be repeated again. And this all happened. Space technology is one of the key component, key enabler for putting in place what we call IOTWS, Indian Ocean Tsunami Warning System. So we have got the tsunami warning system. So space is behind all warning system, all impact assessment, all kind of risk assessment. So that's the beauty of the space technology.
Right. And great contribution by these 3 countries. They're working on same goal, same task. Really commendable. And the
Right.
involvement of ISRO and organization like ISRO
Right.
from these countries also collaboratively working on space science, really giving us great results, because we have seen there are like tsunamis coming in, but the casualties are becoming lesser and lesser each passage of time. Like that is really
Right.
wonderful. So
Right.
on to this further, like what are the most effective ways to build resilience to disaster in Asia Pacific region?
Generally, I feel if we work together, a kind of regional cooperation.
More
Tsunami,
collaborations.
I cited one example of tsunami. We have many unmitigated issues of working together, particularly for monsoon-related floods, monsoon-related drought, El Nino, La Nina, because these are the global phenomena. These are climate risk driver, which needs very collective efforts among the country. Alone, one country cannot do. Our
Right.
midterm review of the Sendai is a big lesson that world working as one is yet to happen. Sendai framework tried to bring world as one, but this is a work in progress. From India perspective, if you look at the scenario, I think we have covered quite a bit of the distance. India capability of understanding monsoon, predicting monsoon, forewarning community, not only in India but also in many parts of the neighborhood, South Asia. But the knowledge of the risk is a global knowledge. You need a lot of research of a not only in India but many developed countries who are very capable working in atmospheric sciences, in the monsoon related research. So you have to bring all those knowledge through a network among the researchers and put it into the practice. So those are some of the challenges. I hope in coming days those challenges we can overcome. Right.
Definitely, the kind of work like conducted throughout the globe, like every country is contributing now, started contributing towards this thing. That would really create an impact. Time it will be taking more time, but still the progress
Yeah.
is good. You have shared so many things about this disaster management. Really wonderful work done by ISRO, done by UN. So definitely that is paying off well.
You see, Jitanji, the Mocha cyclone last month, the examples that I was citing, this cyclone developed in Andaman Sea. It was monitored, tracked by India, and the same time there was a open information sharing. The data that India was receiving from Indian monitoring station, from Sri Lankan monitoring, from Bangladesh, from Myanmar. Same data were shared on real time by all countries. So as a result, what happens? You are tracking your cyclone at every 5 minutes where it is moving. At some point of time, it was moving towards Odisha coast. Then it moved towards Bengal. Then it moved further to Bangladesh. Finally, it moved to Myanmar coast. So you see, it's a dynamic phenomenon. Unless you work together in a partnership mode, everything that is related to the cyclone you share, you cannot manage disasters. So that's the power of collectiveness to manage the disaster. Yeah.
Really important to collaborate.
Right.
Right, sir. So coming back to again, like about your life, your journey. So in your journey, who were the people supported you the most?
Our Indian system, our family is the real capital for us. In my case, my father is school teacher in a private school. You can imagine the income level, the hardship level. So
Yes.
he was always a motivation for me and a motivation to work hard too. So family, father, mother, of course, like any Indian citizens, we are always indebted to family.
Yes.
I got married quite early because, in our rural life,
Being an elder
marriage is
one.
always this. Yeah, marriage is always decided by parents. In my
Right.
case, same thing happened. They found somebody, asked me to marry, got married, and then later my wife also became a supporter. I mean, she understood that what I am doing is something important. So a very strong family support, my brother, sisters. So all put together, it was not my efforts alone. It was a
Yes.
collective efforts of all of
Right.
them. Right, right.
So that is really important.
Yeah.
So if I ask you like motivation and inspiration in your life, so what are the ways you get your motivation and inspiration from?
Jitenji, I would like to, with you, share my colleagues that real motivation is enjoy your work. Don't enjoy life without work. Means you can go for any places, you can see whole world, but when you come back to your work, you enjoy that. I must tell you my experience here in UN system. I work with many nationalities. I have seen, for example, if I take the example of American people, they when they have no work, they really enjoy life. They go everywhere they want.
Right.
They booze everything, and that's how for them the life is. Whatever urgency you have, they will not respond to your email if it comes to you on a holiday. So when there is no work, they feel it's my life. Let me enjoy with my family, with my people. When it comes to Japan, I have seen they work very hard. For them, there is no holiday or nothing of that kind. So
Right.
it's a society which is quite workaholics. When it comes to us, we need to learn from both. Enjoy the work first because that's the fundamental part.
Right.
Whatever we do, even in a small role in an organization, if we do honestly, with the commitment, with the sincerity, I think that is my real motivation and message to my colleagues. Enjoy the work, do your best, whatever is assigned to you, what is expected from you.
Really important, sir. Whatever you are doing, do it with full heart.
Right,
If you are working,
right.
work with full heart. If you are on holiday, enjoy your holiday with full heart.
Yes, right. True, true, true.
So we Indians are always in middle of both the things. When we are working, we are looking for holidays. When we are on holidays, we are looking for work.
Oh, true, true, true.
Right, sir.
True,
So,
true.
sir, if I talk about success, so what is your take on success? What do you feel about success?
Actually, for me, the success was the real passion. My colleagues, wherever I was, they always tell me that you are never alone. Even if you are with friends, your mind works on what you were assigned to you in the office or in a project. So I never detach myself. That may not be a good example. It varies from people to people. But for me, if I take up something, I never get myself dissociated in my thoughts, in my ideas. And to the extent, whatever success little I achieved in my life, it's all because of a very focused, very determined, and passionate commitment.
Right. That's really wonderful one, sir.
Right. Right.
So it was really wonderful, sir. Your thoughts on success. What do you feel about it? Was really impressive one, interesting one also. So we are on last one. Any message, advice you would like to share with our viewers and listeners?
Right. Jitanji, my essence of life is to be very frank with you. In life, always set a high ambition. Means
True.
high means something. Don't compromise on short-term achievements with a long-term achievement. If I cite my own example, in my school days, I wanted to become a school teacher like my father, but then my father always said, no, 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 you have a long way to go. So he encouraged me to send out of my native place, comfort zone, sent to cities, then to Delhi for my PhD. So he always guided me as a true inspiration. No, you are not destined for a teacher job like I lived all through my life in the school. So
Yes.
he encouraged me to take higher education. He realized I'm a good student, dedicated student, so I should go further. So went to college, did PhD. I never imagined in my childhood I will become a scientist in ISRO, It all happened in the process. When I did PhD, my thesis was awarded with a very high rank, got into ISRO. When I came to ISRO, I never imagined that I will go to United Nations as the chief of a program, such a challenging program.
Right.
So, because in ISRO also my goal was always high. Whatever assigned to me, I do a quality work, and that took me a step ahead in United Nations system. So when I came to United Nations system, I came as a regional advisor in 2009. But with my good performance, I was elevated to chief of disaster risk program. I was one among the few Indians who got this kind of assignment in Bangkok. So the point which I would like to share with you, Jitanji, is in life, it's always understand that you are destined for something big.
Right.
Don't shy away, taking a steps, working hard, moving forward. Don't compromise on small things because it will derail you from a longer
perspective
and very productive. But this is where, Jitanji, I must tell you the role of parents, role of family members, role of friends becomes so important, because if they are supportive, if they are like a source of motivation and encouragement for you, your life journey or professional journey becomes very simple. But suppose if you get disrupted in the beginning itself, then you will not. There are millions like me in my country who are extremely bright in the childhood, but somehow or others they could not take it forward, and that's where the role of family, friends becomes so important to take you the forward.
Really important.
So that's yeah.
Right.
And Jitanji, right, I always get inspiration from Abdul Kalam, our first president, a former ISRO scientist.
Yes.
He used to say that put life into dreams and then turn dreams into the reality. I think this was a mantra which I always keep very close to my heart. One thing which I shared with you, that even in my sleep, I don't see dreams. I see this work, what I'm doing, how I can do in a more innovative way. तो सपना वो जो आप सोते में देखते हो, वो सपना नहीं. सपना वो जो जगह में आप देखते हो, ये आपका काम है, इसको हमें ऐसे करना है. कलाम साहब का ये 2-3 मंत्र जो हमारे जैसे उस समय में मैं फॉर्चुनेट रहा जब वो बेंगलोर में थे, हम लोग वहीं थे, तो ये कुछ ऐसी चीजें हैं जो काफी बहुत साइंटिस्ट कम्युनिटी को इंडिया में बहुत इंस्पायर किया, काफी मोटिवेट किया.
Definitely, sir. He is inspiration for so many people.
Yeah.
That is like everybody see him as one of the like pioneers in space technology in India.
Right.
उन्होंने जो देश के लिए किया है उसके बारे में तो हम लोग तुलना कर ही नहीं सकते किसी और चीज से. And the role of ISRO, which is really immense for the development of India, is like I cannot say a word. ISRO का contribution बहुत beneficial रहा इंडिया के लिए, and that is the thing which have changed the like Indian perspective throughout the globe.
Right.
So, and you have been working with that organization, which is one of the world's best organization. That is really a privilege. And I too have a privilege to interview you. And like we have discussed about so many things, disaster management, and that is one aspect. Apart from that, you have shared the journey of yours, which was really an inspiration, because being from a small town and becoming an scientist in ISRO, then chief of the disaster management committee in UN, is really a great achievement. And this is only possible if you have the right vision, right thoughts, right ideas, being innovative, being creative, and always following your passion with all hard work, determination, dedication. Then only this thing can be possible. So this is really a motivation and inspiration for the young people who aspire to be a scientist. And I have one in my family. My son is really willing to go for it. So that interview inspire him.
I'm so happy.
Right, sir. I really enjoyed the conversation. I really enjoyed the things you have shared. Thank you so very much, sir. I am really, I must say, I am honored that I was able to do your interview. and
So kind.
that is really a privilege for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I will also share your social media link along with the interview so that people who have same kind of aspiration or they have certain thoughts or doubts, maybe they can connect with you, take your help and
Sure.
guide. Thank you so very much, sir. So, guys, don't forget
Thank
to check that out too. Thank you so very much, everyone, for watching and listening. I hope you all must have gathered a lot of information and enjoyed watching it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good time. Thank you, and bye bye.